Hey guys, Dr. Jim Stoppani here, and in this video, I'm going to cover how to do a seated barbell curl. One of the main benefits of the seated barbell curl is that it cuts the range of motion in half. How can that be a benefit and not a detriment? Well, it has to do with muscle biomechanics. Now with a standard curl, you're not just using the biceps as you curl the weight up. You're actually using the brachioradialis, which is the large forearm muscle on top of the forearm, the brachialis, which is the deep underlying muscle below the biceps, in addition to the biceps. Now, the brachioradialis and brachialis primarily are the main movers during the first half of the range of motion. The biceps doesn't kick in till about the halfway point of the curl. So from the halfway point, arm bent 90 degrees, towards the top is when you're really working the biceps. From the start to the halfway point, you're really working the brachioradialis and the brachialis. Problem here is that the brachioradialis and the brachialis are weaker than the biceps. So, as you hit fatigue on doing standard curls through the complete range of motion, you're gonna fatigue at the bottom of the curl, meaning you're fatiguing when the brachioradialis and the brachialis have fatigued, not when the biceps have fatigued. So often with full range of motion curls, you're ending the set without properly exhausting the biceps, the target muscle group. So a little trick to do is to remove that first half of the range of motion, and the simple way to do that is with an exercise. It's called the seated barbell curl. Now to do the barbell curl seated, you're gonna just use a standard barbell, and as the name implies, you're gonna sit down on a bench. Now, as far as where you want the barbell to be in relationship to your legs is you want it closer in towards your waist versus out towards the knees. And the reason for that is an exercise known as a drag curl. And if you've watched me do this on the Smith machine, you'll notice that when I do my drag curl, I basically drag it up the body. And so what I'm doing here is keeping the weight back towards my waist and literally dragging it up my body as I do my curl. What does that do? Well, it prevents me from bringing my elbows forward, which is going to remove some of the biceps from the exercise and involve more of the deltoids. So this way with the drag curl, it keeps the elbows back, which is going to help focus more on the biceps and focus more on the long head of the biceps, which is that outer head that provides most of the peak on the biceps. Now the other thing you'll notice about the seated barbell curl is because you're stronger in the second half of the range of motion, which is the only part of the range of motion we're doing on the curl, you're able to use more weight. Now, that doesn't mean if you're typically throwing 25s on a barbell, you're gonna throw 45s on there, because it's a new exercise unless you've been doing it for a while. So your body will have to still adjust to the seated barbell curl. So even though you can go stronger, don't expect to load up too much weight until you get efficient at doing it. Now, as far as the rep ranges go, as I always recommend, vary your rep ranges and the weight that you use, going very low in some workouts, moderate in others, and very high, even up to 30 to 50 reps in others. Remember, variety is the key regardless of the exercise that you're using. So that's my breakdown on the seated barbell curl. Great exercise for maximizing not only biceps development, but long head development on the biceps, which is great for maximizing that biceps peak.